The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. That's what we love. That's what we trade, and that's why you're here. Now, on today, we had some more downside. If you watched yesterday's video, I warned that you might see some potential upside into Fed minutes, and then most likely continue declining from there. It's kind of what happened. So today, Fed minutes, let me just give you the highlight, the juice, if you will. You can leave after this if you want, but I like to get short, straight to the point, right? like your boy. Right. So Fed officials see upside risk to inflation, possibly leading to more rate hikes. Minutes show. Minutes, I'm not going to go into great detail, but all minutes really are is just a recap of what the Fed already said. So Fed raised rates as you saw, and then we also got to see a little bit more with the possibility of inflation becoming harder to handle. That's what we're seeing. I think, and it's interesting that they said this before PPI came out. So I can only imagine the Fed's tone after seeing some of that inflation and what it's doing. They also noted that they want to see unemployment go up, which they kind of cooled their tone, which was really interesting there. And ultimately, they also stressed about some of the things with the banks as well. Okay. Now, it's interesting to note that this all came before. This is all before everything that's happened over the past week with Fitch warning against banks that they might have to downgrade them, with the PPI information, and then, of course, Jackson Hole coming up. So very big implications, and we didn't see much love, right? So we go to NASDAQ and we look at what happened, and, you get PPI around 2, I believe, Eastern, 1 p.m. Central for myself, and we kind of see what happened, right? So this is the NASDAQ. So we see around 12. You see that upside, you bottom out, you bounce around 100 points, give or take, on the NASDAQ, and then you dip. Right? You break lows. Now, this is where things get ugly. But that's ultimately what happened. Okay? Now, I have some plays, and I mentioned some plays yesterday, and they played out great. But I got some bigger ones I have mentioned for tomorrow. But, of course, before we get into that, to ask you to consider doing two things: liking and subscribing. As you can see, every single day I got videos posted for you, so you can stay up to date and you stay prepared here in the market. Short, sweet, to the point. If you're also interested, the Discord link is down below. I never want to pressure anyone into that. That's why I make these free videos. That's why I have Twitter. That's why we have Instagram. That's why we go live every single day. But if you want to take that next step into trading and see how we're trading, why we're trading, and then ultimately get to the point where you can do it yourself, I think Discord is a great option and can really help you take those steps, giving you a visual of things that I was looking at, things that I was trading on the day, and what we were looking at in Discord. Just for instance, right? We go into the market, we look at trade ideas, what we traded here. Number one, Meta. Easiest trade in the book. I've been saying it. We shorted at 304. You're all the way down near 298, and you're breaking towards 289, like we mentioned for free on Twitter as well. So if you missed it and you didn't see it in Discord, and you're like, hey, well, Tyler, do I have to pay to get information? That's why I have it on Twitter. I also posted the free one on Twitter with Netflix as well. Right? So you're always going to get stuff, right? You're always going to get what we're looking at. We had Apple, we had Tesla. Those are all the trades, some gains and losses that you can see here as well in the Discord today. 2,000 people doing good. So it's all good to see there. Now, let's get back to the content. So expectations, where do we go from here? Okay. So I think Fed minutes put an even bigger weight, I guess, on Powell and Jackson Hole going into next week. Now, we also have NVIDIA earnings, which could solely save the market again. Who knows? But very big going into next week. I think you got to be prepared. You got to be ready for what's going to happen there. But as we look at technicals as of today, no buenos, no nachos. Very bad. So what happened? So you broke below 15,000, which was your support. We've been bouncing for 1, 2, and like 3 days so far. You broke below. ES also, again, no buenos, no nachos. Okay, so we can see we broke below 44.95. I've been saying if you hold below 44.95, you're bearish into basically 43.50, 43.60. I think you're going to start working your way down there in a hurry. 44.25 was the target on the day, and we kind of ended the day there, and we ended the day below there. Also, not good news. So that's what we're looking at. When we look at some of the action that has been playing out here, it's very bearish here, right? So what do we see? Previous lows right here from yesterday, or actually from the 11th, you broke down, retested today, and then pushed down even further. So this is what's happening. It's just a stair step, right? It's the same thing as what we look for when we're trading the upside, just inverted to the downside, right? So when we were trading the upside, what were we looking for? We were looking to continue to mount previous highs, right? So what were we looking at? So right here, for instance, you had your previous high here, you pushed up, mounted. What happened here? You came back in your high, local, real kind of sticky situation there. But you can see your high here. which again, you pushed up, mounted, continue pushing. Right, happened here, high, mounted, pushed up again, and then eventually started stair stepping down. So again, quick price action, quickly looking at this, it's really easy to see. Lower lows, lower highs being established in the short term. Now, for the longer term scheme of what we're looking for the daily and weekly charts to be invalidated, daily, you start getting below 44.76, danger. I mean, you could already argue you made a lower low here, like in the 4 hour in the daily time frame, but I think confirmation below 43.75, give or take. Nasdaq, you're getting close. Really, what you're looking for right now is to break below 14, I believe 8. It needs to go down a little bit further, around 14.85 roughly. You're going to hit that most likely tonight or tomorrow morning. If 14.85 breaks, it gets tough, because then you're most likely coming down quickly into 14.6, and then your last line of support is really around 14.3. And then you're pretty illiquid, and you have some big drops that could happen pretty quick because of how we moved through them, and you didn't face too much turbulence, and you didn't really chop there. So once you get into those illiquid zones, you start seeing danger just arise, right? Okay, so those are things we're looking at there. Now, I want to cover this part before I go into stocks I'm liking. We look at DXY. Again, breaking out. We have to talk about this here in a second. We have to do a pop out. We have to do a one-on-one. Tyler Imano, right? One-on-one. So you see DXY breaking out again. The dollar breaking out, not good for the economy. Definitely looks like downsides into at least Jackson Hole or NVIDIA earnings into next week. VIX as well, finally getting some love. Again, you want to see VIX above at least 20. 24 is where you really start to see danger in the market. We look at yields across the board. They look incredible here on the daily, ready to make new local highs and 52-week highs for that matter. The 2-year yield is trying to get above 5% again. It's probably going to break it tomorrow. The 5-year, dear God, looks like it wants to rip as well. The 10-year, even better. The 30-year, they're all going up. Okay, terrible, terrible, terrible. All bearish stuff around the board there. Only good note from this is that energy is getting a dip, but energy is dipping with the stock market, which makes logical sense. But you're dipping slower on energy than you're dipping on stocks, which is inherently bad. Because if stocks bounce back, you anticipate energy to bounce back with it and rise rapidly. Why do we not want energy to rise? Because if energy rises, inflation expectations and data probably rise as well, which is bad via the Fed. Am I going too fast? Okay, look, we finally made it back to the option drop to HQ. We just been reworking it. H-Tine, hold it dying. We're back. Okay, so I want to tell a few things. Okay, we need to be watching, and this is just for like broad view, like the next month or so. We need to be watching energy very closely. You need to be keeping that in the back of your mind no matter what you're trading. But as we move forward and we're looking at this, just because we're trading more of the downside now, that doesn't mean necessarily you're in a bear market, recession, or anything like that. It's just all factors of playing what's the market's. Again, we trade what the market gives us, not what we want, right? For 6 months, we saw people say, oh, NVIDIA is going to crash. NVIDIA is going to up. And in reality, NVIDIA, if they come out this earnings coming up and they produce their expectation of 11 billion, I don't see how they don't continue up. I don't see how they, even as I look at bearish data, I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't see how NVIDIA doesn't continue the bull run if they continue to perform like they are, right? And what is that? Do I even really have a horse in that race? Not necessarily, but it's just facts, and that's just what the market's going to do, right? So I say this. When you are looking at the market, I don't care what's happening out there. I care what's happening right now and what the market's going to give me for opportunity to make money. And that's all you need to care about as well, right? So when you're looking at this, you need to understand, are you short term? Are you scalping? Are you day trading? Are you swing trading? Are you what's your overall plan, right? And so I have to be able to recognize with you guys that most of you are scalping throughout the day and you might be swing trading. So I try to give you both viewpoints. And so when we look at scalping in particular, you're following the trend closely, in my opinion. That's the only way to do it. And so when we're looking at said trend and we're looking at this price action playing out, again, right now, it's just giving us opportunity to make money on the downside. We didn't have that opportunity over the last 6 months, in my opinion. But now you're seeing some of that play in. Now, does that mean I'm going to short everything? Does that mean I'm going all in? No. That means I'm playing the levels that I'm mentioning. I'm watching for reactions from buyers and sellers like we have seen. Like the buying that we saw 2 days ago. Remember I showed you the volume was 47 million on SPY and it was piss poor and it was most likely a dead cat? Y'all remember that? Go check out Monday's video, right? And so I say all that to say recognize and understand patterns that are happening, right? And don't get biased with your trading. Understand that. I'm gonna say that again. Don't get biased with your trading. Again, the market's ruthless. It's going to take away from you. And that's the biggest tip I can give you guys as we move forward over the next week and a half, especially in the Jackson Hole, because anything can happen. Now, look, I'm feeling generous. I'm going to get you guys out of here quick today. We're going to go over some of the best looking names out there right now. Tesla. Oh my God. So first of all, if you're not on the newsletter, you go to the website home, go over newsletter. You can just sign up and join. It's free. Every Sunday we post this for you. And I know for a fact Tesla was on the newsletter this week. Dear God. Oh my God. This is beautiful. So Tesla's most likely coming down, in my opinion. Got to be targeting around 218. It's just a massive, massive level. I believe it's your previous high right here. That's my level for Tesla. I think it's going to get tested 217, 218. Roughly like right there. That's where I'm looking for. So around 218, that's what I'm looking for. Tesla most likely going to come into that range. A lot of weakness. Lots of sellers continue to step in. You broke below 232. It was on the newsletter. Dear God, if you got into any type of retest below the 90 MA, any type of trending, you made money. You printed. Also posted it as well how you saw the bear flag clearly playing out here as you went into VWAP, slapped it around there, clearly pushing down very weak. Playing out pretty much perfect if you missed that one. Meta, I've been mentioning this one over and over and over. It's been all over my Twitter. It's been all over everything. You had the bear flag into 304. You got a little bit of a fake out. You broke back down. You could have got back in at 304. You went straight down. I'm targeting 289. If buyers do not show up at 289, it's going to get ugly. You need to watch out. The next level after that is roughly around 276, but I would be pretty careful in this range as well. But really, you're looking towards 289. If that gets bad, the breakdown could get nasty. The best, the craziest, the grossest looking thing out there right now. I'm going to tell you guys. I posted this on Twitter, so y'all saw already. This was at 10:30 this morning at 421. Okay. Guys, this one right here. Oh my God. This is the nastiest looking chart I have seen in a minute. It's nasty. Type 2 diabetes. It's out for the count. Gross, stinky, big boy. Nasty, right? Head and shoulders, clear as day. If you bring up, wait till I do it. When I do it, you're going to freak out. Oh, mighty, wow, adios, mijos. So what do you have right here? Look, you have the neckline, 411 roughly. But what is that hiding under the neckline? It's the 200 weekly moving average. Y'all remember when we traded it back here? Go look. If you don't believe me, go look. June 5th through like the 8th, all I talked about was Netflix. I said, you mount this thing, you're going crazy. Probably like 450 roughly. You went crazy, right? So going back to this, you break below the 200 weekly moving average and you break below 411 on the neckline, the head and shoulders. Conservative targets. Conservative. Very conservative. Okay. I'd be looking for 375, 384. Conservative. Okay. Gonna leave it there. Do what you want. Thing is gorgeous. Thing is beautiful. Mwah. Mwah. Absolutely beautiful. It probably looks better than Allie's gonna look on her wedding day. I'm not gonna lie. She's gonna look beautiful. But like this thing right here. Ay, chihuahua, Dios mijos. That thing's absolutely gorgeous. Number 4? I don't even know. We have a lot today. Apple. I'm going to give you guys a little cheat code today, right? Usually, I'm not going to post some stuff that is what happens in Discord stays in Discord. You know what I'm saying? Look, Jay said, look, boys, got some Apple. 170 puts for $2. September 22nd. You know what? Because Jay's been listening. We're synergizing right now. We're vibing when we look at this market. Look at what's happening. 177. We've been talking about 177 for days, right? You broke below finally. You got to close below. Now, the safest thing to do, I'm going to tell you right now, is to wait potentially for that breakdown, retest, and then push back. That's what you would look for traditionally. But hey, Jay said, look, he said, you see these things down here? I got two of them, and they hang, right? So Jay hammered it. Boom, buying it, right? So again, that's what you would look for. But again, you're looking for downside there. Absolutely gorgeous. Not even gonna give you targets, just because it's just a printer, right? Take money, take profits when you gotta take profits. Am I right? Next up, Nvidia has earnings next week. Okay, so I don't think you should go crazy here. again, if Nvidia if they just meet expectations, I don't see how they don't go up. I don't. They're the only company out there growing, like by a lot too. So Nvidia, I say stay away from it. I brought it up to tell you to stay away from it. But if you want to trade it, you're feeling crazy. You bear flagged today into 440. I posted it in Discord so people could see. You broke down, kind of bump and run, pushing back down. You get below 434. It's not pretty. So yeah, and especially because this is so illiquid now to get back through all that, it could get disgusting. Especially that is just nasty. The break retest. It's really bad. If you want to trade a semiconductor you're liking, I think AVGO gives you a little bit better opportunity. Let me tell you why. So you go to the 4-hour time frame. What do you see? When we were looking, remember, hey, guys, I'm telling you, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I'm just saying. People are like, well, hey, Tyler, you're doing this to make money from your Discord. I'm like, guys, I post free stuff 24/7, literally 24/7 on Twitter. I nonstop. Allie's like, she's like hitting me on the head. She's like, Tyler, go to sleep. Go to sleep. I'm like, I'm on Twitter, babe. Relax, okay? Relax. Going over to, where's it at? Oh, my God. Yeah, so AVGO, remember right here? You get it under 889, you're looking for 850, right? So you broke below, pushed down, went to target, right? Clear target. Well, you hit it. Perfect. And then you broke through, right? 2 hour. Retested. Double top today. Discount double top. Am I right? Discount double top, breaking below, targeting around 824. If you break, me and Jay were talking about this. We were like Birdman in the booth. Let me tell you, if you break 820, this thing could get just disgusting. It could, right? It really could. You're probably going to push down really quick to 800 after that. You'll have some support there, but under like 800, there's no liquidity into like 700. Because you went up in a straight line. So understand where we're at now. When you move up the way we did, it does set up for great shorting opportunities because there's no liquidity to hold you up through those levels, right? It's awesome when you're bullish. I love it. But I understand as well when you get bearish, the opportunities that are at hand when it comes to making money. We made a lot of money on AVGO and Nvidia. But when I look at this now, I'm sitting back and I'm just like, dear Lord, sweet baby Jesus. Woo! 9.2 ounce. Jesus, thank you for giving me another opportunity to make an absolute bag. I'll see you tomorrow, boys.